Hi foodies, how are you? I actually, let me move this so that I don't hit it. I'm actually going to make something that I don't know if it's going to turn out to be disgusting, but I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try to make a one-pot ramen because I have this craving for ramen. My husband is on a work trip, so I get to experiment and do whatever I want. I have cut this block of tofu. You're probably wondering what I'm doing. I've cut this block of tofu, and I saw McDougall Mom loves to do her tofu steak. So I'm going to do something similar to what she does. I had a peanut sauce. Look at, I'm cutting it. I put the 2 chopsticks on the side. I cut the block. I turned the block over on its side and I cut it down the middle. And then I cut it into 4 little steaks or blocks. And I've scored it, but I haven't scored it all the way to the bottom. So if you put chopsticks on the side, it'll keep you from going all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to lay my tofu steak right there. I'm going to save 2 tofu steaks for something else. It's raining and I'm supposed to be doing other things, but my house is still in disarray from all the trips that we've taken. And I'm supposed to be doing a million other things, but this is what I want to be doing. And I got infected by Melanie. I don't know if you guys have run across her on all social medias. She exploded and it went viral. She started the "We Just Don't Care" club. We do not care club. And I just don't care. This is what I want to be doing. I love doing this. So now I've scored this one again. It's almost like diamond scores. I went both ways. And now my peanut sauce that I had in the fridge, I'm going to put it in those grooves. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if you guys can see yep, you guys can see it. Okay, so I'm going to try to hit those grooves, and I'm going to put this on top, and I'm going to put it in the air fryer while we make our one-pot ramen. And I just want to show you guys that with plant-based, it's so easy because you don't have to fuss about the ingredients number or the recipes. Everybody's always asking me for a number, as in like, well, how much did you put in? And it's just so versatile because you can kind of wing it a little bit. You just put in the flavors that you like, and then let me stick this in the air fryer. I'm going to stick this over here. And I'm going to hit it for like about 15 minutes. It probably, actually, I'll take that back. I'll do it for 12. So now I'm going to save these steaks. So I need a Tupperware. And if you guys could see the entire mess that I have in my kitchen, you would understand. I've done the dishes. I have so much dried stuff to put away. I have so much dried stuff to put away here, but that's not what I want to be doing. So you know what? Since I'm going to show you again, I'm going to put it in between the 2 chopsticks and I'm going to score it. The chopsticks are going to keep me from scoring it all the way to the bottom. So McDougall Mom showed this the other day because she did it. She does it for her family. Her kids love it. And she makes another different type of sauce for it on top. So she and I were talking, so I decided I wanted to try it as well. I've always cubed my tofu or done it in sticks or done it in lengthwise sticks, but never done the whole thing like this, like a steak, like an individual steak, and then put the sauce in it. So my sauce is a peanut sauce that has a little bit of maple, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of miso, and peanut flour or peanut butter powder that doesn't have saturated fat in it like peanut butter would. So I'm going to go ahead and marinate these little steaks that I have here now for tomorrow or for another day. and that way they'll be here waiting for me. Maybe I'll marinate them upside down. Okay, so I was trying to figure out what to do with this peanut sauce, and I had it in the fridge. You guys know when it comes to plant-based, your sauces and such are gonna keep longer than other sauces made with dairy or milk. So I'm gonna coat this. I'm gonna put this one, and then maybe tomorrow I'll flip them so that both of them are in the liquid. So that's part of the food prep. When I'm cooking, I'm also pre-thinking, can I use some of this for a future meal? So I will be able to use these for something else. So these are gonna go into the fridge. All right, so for my one pot meal, it's gonna be a ramen, and I'm hoping it's gonna go quick. I'm going to use Lotus Foods, has some rice ramens, and they fall within the whole food spectrum, and they come in blocks like this. So this is one serving, and let's see, I usually cut the little ingredients nutrition label so that I know what's in it. So this one has brown rice flour, organic millet flour. That's basically it, 0 sodium. Whoa, the sky fell down. Let me close my shutters because it's absolutely pouring. So, oh my gosh, it is definitely rainy season. So these are completely whole food. So I'm going to put it in the pot with the liquid, and I'm going to use a Plant Strong veggie broth. And I'm going to put, I bought portobella mushrooms yesterday because the other day we made stuffed portobella mushrooms. You guys go check out that recipe because it's like 4 ingredients, and it was so good that we went to the store and bought more portobella mushrooms just so that I can make it. And I thought that that's kind of what I wanted today. But then I decided that's not what I want to eat today. I want to do the one pot ramen. So I'm just going to take my 1 portobella mushroom that I would have stuffed for myself for dinner, and I probably would have eaten some other stuff along with it. I'm going to cut these mushrooms up because my plan is to put them in my ramen pasta. So, and then I'm going to, I use the stem and everything. When I do the mushrooms and I do the stuffed ones, I take this stem and I chop it up really good. And I chop it up with whatever I stuff the mushrooms with. The last time we made them, we stuffed them with a Trader Joe's plant-based crumbles, which we sometimes use as a treat when we make pizzas. They're not 100% sodium free, and they are processed because it's a plant-based crumble, but every once in a while we use them as a treat when we're making pizzas because it mimics ground meat well. But if you do not like doing that, I'm going to shave this cabbage, and I'm going to put that in my ramen as well, kind of like I would a Napa cabbage, but I don't have Napa cabbage, so I'm not going to run to the store. I'm going to use what I have. So, and hopefully not cut myself. So the whole premise here is use what you have in the fridge. I also have some spinach, so I'm going to put spinach, and I think I've already overcut way too many veggies thinking Jay is here, but he's not. So some of my spinach is kind of wilting a little bit in my container, so it's perfect to wilt it for this ramen. It's not bad, it's just wilting a little bit, so I'm just going to cut it up, and it's going to become part of my one pot ramen. So I'm going to bring you guys over there so you see how quickly this turns out. So that's our 3 ingredients. We're just going to use mushrooms, and mushrooms have a lot of nutrient and actually protein. A lot of people don't know that, but mushrooms are a really good source. With the spinach and the cabbage is a cruciferous, so you want to get some cruciferous throughout your day, multiple times a day, because it's really good for Dr. Esselstyn talks about the cruciferous veggies You want the lining for your arteries to be the strongest that it can be. And cruciferous veggies produce nitric oxide. And the nitric oxide is almost like an expander, and it helps your arteries expand, and it helps keep the lining of them healthy and strong and thick. And that's what you want, because when you don't have them thick, you can have a stroke, a heart attack, you can have a rupture. So you want to keep it as healthy as you can. So I'm going to bring along these noodles. I might do 2 servings so that I have extra, so that I can eat throughout the week, or so that Jay can taste it when he gets back home. He's only going to be gone 2 days. Let me take you guys with me. So we have the cabbage, spinach, and portobella mushrooms. So hopefully I don't melt you guys. So I've got my stove going. And all right, so for my one pot ramen, it's going to be super easy. Let's put this here. Oh my goodness. I wish you guys could talk to me through the camera to warn me if I'm doing something like about to burn something. All right. So here we go. Let's make sure you guys can see. All right. So that is, and you can see my mess too, right? Got a huge mess there. So I've got plain strong veggie broth. I've got gochujang, which is a Korean spicy pepper paste. And I went and searched for the lowest sodium one, because we're only going to be using a little bit, but they do have sodium. But some of these have 500, 600, 700 milligrams of sodium. So I went and searched for the lowest sodium one. If you can find it, I got this one at the Asian store, but they have it on Amazon. And they do sometimes have it at regular grocery stores, and we're going to be using miso. So this is a white miso paste. It's fermented. So that's really good for your body, just like doing pickled veggies or fermented veggies. So that's the only 3 things that I'm going to use for my ramen. So the plant strong veggie broth is essentially my water to boil these ramen. So I'm just going to eyeball it. And this is going to be kind of like the MeghanMarkle one pot pasta that she did. And I've done several different versions of this, and we fell in love with it because it's just so easy. So when I get this to a boil, I'm not even going to put my miso or my red pepper paste in it. That's how easy it is. I'm going to put first the noodles in the pot, and then I'm going to let them cook up, which should take 2 or 3 minutes, because the ramen should only take, it depends on which Lotus Foods ramen noodles you bought or which ramen noodles you have. Some of them take 2 to 3 minutes. Some of them take 3 to 5 minutes. It just depends. Read the directions. But I pop the lid on it. I don't boil it or boil it like pasta when I'm doing a one pot. Even with regular pasta, whole wheat pasta or lentil pasta, any type of pasta that you might have in your pantry that is a whole food pasta, a chickpea pasta, you can do this method. And that way you don't have to do the old timey method of filling it up, putting the water in, boiling the pasta, draining it, and then getting all your ingredients. Like, I just want everything in one pot, mix it up with the sauce, and get my bowl and eat it. So it's boiling. So now I'm going to put my ramen, my little block here, and I know that this is going to be more than 1 serving, but I also know that it's going to give me enough for having leftovers or prep food. I can even go ahead and prep it in a little glass bowl that I can heat up for tomorrow. Jay can have it if I don't eat it when he comes home for lunches and stuff like that. So it's part of the food prep. So whenever you're cooking anything, make extra, make more, freeze a lot. This week we got saved by our enchiladas that we made on the Enchilada Live a while ago. And we had planned on having black bean burgers for Father's Day, and Jay was like, I don't even want that mess. And so I just want to chill and relax. So we just pulled out an enchilada, and I stuffed the portobella mushrooms at the last minute because I had them in the fridge. So it was that easy. We pulled out our food prep from our freezer, stuck it in a cookie sheet, put it in the oven, and the meal was ready. So the more that you can prep, the better. So now I'm gonna cover this, and I'm gonna get one of my tongs. All right. So I'm gonna let it go. Halfway through, I flip over the ramen just to make sure that it cooks through all the way. And I'm gonna get a little bit of cornstarch. Because that's the other trick to this. If you feel like you need a little bit of thickness to your sauce, then you can do a slurry, which is a little cornstarch slurry. That's a trick with any. You can use arrowroot. I like cornstarch. Let me check on the, oh, look how cute they're looking. I don't know if you guys can see them. I'm going to try and not burn myself. They're getting golden. So I might turn these over. I'm going to do this off camera because I'm behind you guys. My air fryer is behind you. Let me see. I think this is going so quick I might already turn these. Yep. All right. Look at how quickly that's going to come together. Then I'm going to throw the mushrooms and everything else. And I'm going to turn this over. And I could put sauce in it, but I could put sauce in it, or I could leave it as is. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is for today. But you could put sauce in it on the other side when you put it back in the air fryer. And I'm going to go put it back. And I already did 12 minutes. Now I'm going to do another 12 for the other side. And it should be good. I like my tofu a little crispy on the outside, but I like it soft on the inside. So this is pretty close to being done. And I might not need this slurry because I didn't use a lot of broth like you guys saw. I didn't even measure it. I just kind of filled a little bit at the bottom of the pot. Some of it is going to consume. The veggie broth is going to give it a lot of flavor. The good thing about this Plant Strong veggie broth is that it's a small container. So now I just close it up and I put it back in my fridge. I love them. I went to one of their retreats. It closes up and it goes right in my fridge. I went to one of their retreats and I have gotten a code from them that we can all use to give us a percentage off. I'll be putting it up. I haven't done it, but I will. Okay, so that is it. So now that's ready. They're cooked. That took no time at all. So now I'm going to gauge it and see how much of this I need in here. I know that I'm going to use up all the spinach. And I'm going to use up all the cabbage. I might not need all the mushroom. And then I'm going to give it a turn. I'm going to put a little bit, just a little bit of the miso. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of the gochujang paste. Jay's going to be jealous because he loves this combination of flavors. And he just showed me what he ate, and he's doing so good. And this is a, what do you call it? Proof that you can eat plant-based when you, and look, you just mix it up and that's it. The sauce is going to go all over. I might not even need my slurry. We'll see in a second. He went to one of those places like Chipotle or Qdoba that you can get your own bowl, and he ordered double beans and all the veggies that he could, and he got it over greens instead of getting it over any type of white carb that they have at those places. Sometimes some of them have brown rice and things like that. This morning on his way, he did the breakfast cookies that I sent him with. That's it. This is done, guys. I'm actually going to put the rest of the mushrooms because I love mushrooms. And I'm going to use them all up. So that's how easy it is. You could add a dab of peanut butter if you don't have miso or gochujang, or if you don't like the spiciness of the gochujang. You could add a little bit of maple syrup, soy sauce, maple syrup, and peanut butter powder, and you can make yourself a sauce. Look at how pretty that is. And look how quick it came together. So I'm going to taste it, but I need a fork. All right. So this one pot method is something that you can do with anything that you have in your fridge. And I'm going to taste, and this is what I keep telling you guys, taste and adjust. Hopefully I didn't make it too spicy, because Jay's the one that likes spicy. It's spicy, but it's not Jay spicy, so that's good. All right, so if I needed, I think I want it more saucy, so I'm going to put a tiny bit more of the Plant Strong veggie broth. This veggie broth has only 20 grams of sodium, by the way. That's one of the reasons that I like it. And I could make my own veggie broth, but I don't have a freezer big enough to keep all the veggie scraps to make my own veggie broth. I'm getting to the point where I need another fridge-freezer combination. But here in Florida, you don't want to have too much in your freezer and fridge because of hurricane season. And then you end up losing it all if you lose power. So there's that too. So I'm going to put a tiny bit more because I even want it a tiny bit more liquid. I like my ramen to be a little creamy, not so much in a broth. But if you want it in a broth, you can most certainly do that. And then if I wanted to, I could put a little bit more of the saucy elements to it, like the miso and the gochujang, and then make a slurry so that it is saucy. But I think this is perfect enough for me. And I can keep it with the lid so that it stays warm while I eat and serve myself some of it. And then the rest I can put away for another day. So there we go. Another one pot, super easy. Hope you guys tried it at home. Let me show you. Let me get this so I don't burn myself. There you go. So one pot, we've got mushrooms, we've got spinach, we've got the cabbage with the gochujang and the miso paste. And it is all stirred up, and it takes no time at all, because really the only thing that's taking you time, I'm going to put it in a plate, I'm going to get a plate, is the noodles. Everything else is just pulling it out of the fridge and cutting it up, and if you already had it prepped and cut, then it wouldn't even be, here we go. I really do need to put away all these dishes. So basically, if you have all this food prep, you just grab what you want, and it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be a ton of ingredients. And then I'm going to lay my tofu on top of it, and that is going to be dinner. It's a brown rice Lotus Foods. I'll show you my tofu. Trying to pick it up without burning myself. I really should use a spatula, but I don't want to get anything else dirty. Is anybody else like me? I'll use everything to try not to get more stuff dirty. There you go. That's dinner. Super quick. Okay, guys, I hope you try this. One pot pastas. Let's see what you guys can come up with and create and what veggies you can use for them. Don't be afraid. You can use whole wheat. You can use red lentil, chickpea pastas. You can use curly ones. You can use long ones. You can use ramens. The Lotus Foods has different flavors. They have a black pot ramen. They have a rice ramen. And then you can also use the Plant Strong. You can use different combinations because Plant Strong even has like a corn broth, and they have a mushroom broth. I could have pulled out the mushroom broth. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but I went ahead and used the veggie broth. So just get to your little one pot creations. Bye, guys. Hope you're having a happy day.